Have you ever felt burnt out in your crochet business? I know I have. And if you've ever experienced the dread of getting up in the morning, the overwhelm, the emotional exhaustion, and the hopelessness that comes from feeling burnt out, then this podcast is for you. This is Crochet Business Chat. I'm happy to have you here. My name is Pam Grice, the Crochetpreneur, and I am on a mission to help 100,000 makers build financial freedom through crochet. So happy to have you here. If you have felt burnt out, you're not alone. We're going to talk about what it looks like and what to do about it. And today we're going to tackle 5 different traps that come up for handmade business owners and that pull you into burnout and what to do about it. Excuse me. So it's really important, I think, to address this because so many people think that putting in more time, more work, working harder is the way to build a business. And that leads them to working 12, 16-hour days, neglecting family, neglecting responsibilities, neglecting self-care, and even neglecting feeding themselves well or moving their bodies. And this all builds up and leads to burnout. I know in my own business, especially when I had a product go viral, and you're managing hundreds and hundreds of orders and trying to do what you can to minimize orders by raising prices, by extending out your shipping time and all of those things to try and take care of yourself. But in the end, you're still taking orders and you're still saying yes to things that maybe you should be saying no to. And that leads to 16-hour work days, 18-hour work days, stress, anxiety, and again, burnout. And that's what it did for me. It took a physical toll, it took an emotional toll, it took a mental toll. And eventually I had to make some tough decisions around my business of, are we just going to crash and burn, or are we going to set some boundaries and do some things to take care of this? So I want to share with you some of those things. I did ask in the chat, have you struggled with burnout in your crochet business? And Jenny said, so happy you're tackling this subject as I've fallen into this trap. So happy to have you here, Jenny, and anybody. If you've fallen into the trap of burnout, there is hope for better, but it does take some action on your part. It does take some decision making on your part. So we're going to talk about that today. Ultimately, burnout isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility to address it. Okay. So let's take a look at trap number 1. All right. Trap number 1 is saying yes to everything. If you have a business model that entails saying yes to everything, saying yes to every custom order, saying yes to last minute requests, being always available to your audience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, or 66 days a year, you are setting yourself up for burnout and you're falling into trap number 1. This leads to burnout because you have a lack of boundaries, and this is just unsustainable. I apologize. I got a tickle in my throat. It's an unsustainable pace of business. I don't know if you're seeing that flickering. There's something wrong with StreamYard that is causing flickering on my screen. So I apologize if you're seeing that. I don't really know how to fix it, except we might have to get off StreamYard and move somewhere else if this continues. But for now, we're going to push through. Okay, so trap number 1, saying yes to everything, lack of boundaries, unsustainable pace. What to do instead? Define your non-negotiables, all right? I'm not taking custom orders. I'm not taking last minute requests, or I'll take custom orders if they have X processing time, if they pay upfront, if they pay for shipping so that I don't have to go meet them somewhere to deliver it. Set some boundaries around customer orders that you'll take. Last minute requests. I don't take last minute requests. Sorry, I'm busy. No. And then always on available. So you may choose instead to set work hours, set up some automatic responses that say, I'm out of the office right now. I'll be back to you during our work hours, which are these times, and set those boundaries, let people know about them, and then you be sure to follow through. Also, building a scalable offer suite. So what happens, particularly with physical product sellers, is we build this offer suite, right? So our product line that is us trading time for money, right? It requires us to put in more time if we're going to make more money. And so in order to scale, we have to put in more time. And building a business model off of that is going to lead to burnout eventually. So start thinking about how you can add in some passive products, some products that don't require you to invest your time. So that could be crochet patterns, it could be downloadable digital things, it could be courses, it could be ad revenue on a website, that kind of stuff where you start to get passive income, but it doesn't require extra time of you, aside from the initial time to set it up. And next, practice saying yes to what's best and saying no to things that don't serve your overall business goals. So saying no is a real strength and a real skill that you need to develop as a business owner. So those are things you can do to combat trap number 1, saying yes to everything. Trap number 2 is undercharging and overgiving. Raise your hand if you're here live, or even if you're on the replay, tell us in the chat. Raise your hand if you've fallen into this trap of undercharging and overgiving. This comes from pricing based on guilt or based on fear. No one's going to buy from me if my prices are too high, or I need to lower my prices to match what the market is doing, right? So we're competing on price with people. And so this is built on emotion and not strategy. It leads to burnout because constant work for little return kills your motivation and kills your momentum. You're doing a whole bunch of work and you know you're not getting paid for it. It's going to build resentment against your business and against your customers. You see this a lot in Facebook groups where people resent their customer base and they talk bad about their customers and how they hate their customers and they hate serving their customers. And we don't want you to build a business that generates that sort of emotion to the people who are actually paying you and the people that you are meant to be serving in your business. So we want you to love your customers, love on your customers, and love serving your customers. And that means you need to charge what you're worth. So what to do instead is learn the true value of your work. What is your work worth? This is based on your skill. This is based on the value of the product, the benefit the product brings to the customer, and price based on those things. Use a pricing calculator. I'll stick the link in for my free pricing calculator. I'll stick the link in the chat. And then reframe your mindset to believe and understand that profit isn't selfish. It's what makes your business possible. Without profit, you cannot continue to run your business. So stop feeling guilty about charging. Stop trying to be affordable and charge what you need to charge in order to get your bills paid, and charge the value of your products. Okay, stop underpricing yourself. All right. Okay, so I guess a couple of you fell into that trap. Let's move on to trap number 3. Trap number 3 is content hustle without strategy. This is the constantly posting, doing reel after reel after reel, doing updates, all of the updates. This is what's happening here. This is what I'm doing. This is what I made. You should buy it. This is what I made. You should buy it. But getting no real results and continuing to do that same thing that isn't working for you. This leads to energy drain with no return, and it creates discouragement, right? You're going to get discouraged. How many of you feel discouraged around social media? Let me know in the comments. I know I have felt discouraged around social media and have really stepped back from social media because the payoff is just not worth it. I get a better payoff from simply putting a couple dollars into ads on Facebook than to actually post on Facebook. And I know that's Facebook's plan all along, but but it works. And for me, and finding a strategy that works for you that doesn't create discouragement is important. So what to do instead of constantly posting without a strategy is audit your content with a purpose first lens. Like, what is the purpose of this post? Go back and look at previous videos I did, previous podcasts I did about social media, we talked about categories of your social media. We talked about, I wish I had done a refresher in my mind so I could tell you exactly what I said, but 4 categories of content. Teaching content, encouraging content, inspirational content, and something else. But you can go find that, and if I find it, I'll link it below. But audit your content and look at what is the purpose of this post, and then go with it. Like, go dive into it and share with your audience, and then have a really strong call to action. So post with strategy. Focus on needle moving platforms. Look at the platforms you're posting on and see which ones are actually moving the needles. Look at your Google Analytics, see who's coming over to your website and where they're coming from. Look at your engagement, see who's buying from you, maybe even ask your customers where they found you, and get some information from that, and then choose 1 or 2 platforms to really focus on and build your strategy around those platforms. And create content in seasons and themes, and make it easy for yourself to generate content around what's going on, and you're going to get more engagement on those kinds of things. If you're going to just post general things in the fall when people are focused on, holiday stuff, you're going to get more traction with holiday stuff than you are just general things. So like, pay attention to the seasons and the themes throughout the year, and like really dive into those. That is trap number 3. Okay. All right. Trap number 4. Trap number 4 is solo mode syndrome. So this is the person who is doing everything themselves. They are wearing all of the hats in the business, and they're feeling extremely isolated while doing so. So they're stuck in their house. They're stuck in their yarn studio or at the kitchen table working all day long, and they don't have a lot of support. So this leads to burnout, because no support leads to decision fatigue. You don't have anybody to bounce ideas off of. You don't have anybody to talk you off a ledge when you're feeling like, I just need to burn this whole thing down. And you really have a lack of encouragement, a lack of support. And this can just leave you feeling discouraged and like you want to give up. So what to do instead is find yourself a business community that aligns with your values. So if you're looking for a positive, solution-focused, encouraging group, I have a free Facebook group called Crochet Business Chat Facebook group. So go look that up. I'll link it below as well. I need to go through this video and put all these links in here. Find the Crochet Business Chat Facebook group. We're always in there. Or, I do have I do have a couple of memberships that we'd love for you to join as well. And I'll talk more about that another time. Do some mindset work that sustains your strategy. So think about how you're thinking about your business. And if you're thinking there's something noble in being a solopreneur and not asking for help, there's something that speaks to weakness and asking for help, you're really setting yourself up for burnout. Yes, there are a lot of hats to wear as you're building your business. There's marketing, there's photography, there's copywriting, there's designing, there's product making, all of that, those pieces that fit into your business. And if you're doing everything on your own, even the things that you're not good at, even the things that you hate, you're going to set yourself up for a dysregulated nervous system. Sorry, I read the wrong thing. You're going to set yourself up for burnout and isolation. So think about, who can I offload some of this to? Can I hire a virtual assistant to help me with this? Can I have my kids help? Can I pay them a couple dollars to go post some stuff on Pinterest? Just remember that vulnerability and sharing with a community creates connection and builds opportunities for collaboration as well. So get out of your seat, get on a Zoom call, do some sip and stitches, do some crochet alongs, show up, be where people are, and be encouraged. So if you're feeling isolated and lonely in your business, connect with a community. And finally, trap number 5 is ignoring inner work. Now, you might be like, oh, sure, you always talk about this stuff. And it's true. I do. I'm a psychotherapist. I want you to take care of your own heart and your own defense mechanisms and the things that are keeping you stuck. So if you have not pushed through fear, if you're stuck in a fight, flight, or freeze mode with your business, if you're stuck in perfectionism, if you're stuck in people pleasing, recognize that you can't out strategize a dysregulated nervous system. Your nervous system is in charge of what you do. And until you learn to take care of yourself and do that inner work around the things that are keeping you stuck, you're going to stay stuck. And you might even become one of those people on Facebook who talks about how nobody cares about handmade stuff. You can't make money in a crochet business. All these people are lying. There's people out there that are just spewing these things because they haven't done that inner work and they want to take everyone else down with them. Don't become one of those people. So things that you can do to move past this trap are build in rest and reflection in your business practices. In my program, I suggest people build in white space, they build in CEO time, and they build in visionary time. So these are all strategic times that you build into your calendar to take care of yourself and to ensure that you are operating from your best self as a business owner. Next, do the work that sustains strategy. So do the work around what's going on with you, what's working in your business, what is draining the life out of you in your business, and what maybe you do need to offload so that you enjoy your business and you don't dread getting up in the morning. And seek support that addresses the whole you, not just your to-do list. Okay, not just a place where you can vent, but a place where you can actually get support and a place that's going to call you out on your BS, the excuses that you make, the defense mechanisms that you have in place that are keeping you stuck in your business. Finding someone or a group of someones who will do that for you is a really powerful thing. So don't be afraid to do that inner work. There's a lot of resources out there for entrepreneurs and business owners to actually tap into what's keeping me stuck and what mindset things do I need to work through and how have I built my business in a way that is negatively impacting my mental health and what can I do instead. So seek out resources, seek out people who can help you with that. And of course, I'd be happy to help you with that as well. Recognize that burnout is not a badge of honor. Burnout is a boundary being broken, and is a boundary that you're breaking for yourself. So you haven't built those boundaries around your business to protect your time, your energy, your mental health, your physical wellness. And you are the CEO, the business owner in charge of setting those boundaries and keeping those boundaries. If you're struggling with burnout, it's because you have to go back and check what boundaries are you allowing others or yourself to overstep. So again, a quick recap of those traps. 1, saying yes to everything. 2, undercharging and overgiving. 3, content hustle without strategy. 4, solo mode syndrome. And 5, ignoring the inner work. So if you have fallen into these, let's move forward. Let's do something different. I do want to invite you to start making these changes before busy season starts. Right now, you have about a month before busy season starts to really kick in. So right now is a really great time to start working on these things. I do want to invite you to the Crochet Business Retreat that's happening September 11th and 12th. It's a virtual event. It is free. The link is down below in the description. You can join us for 2 days of addressing some of these things while we are building out a business that creates lifetime fans that become your biggest referral source for your business. So we're going to take you through the entire customer journey, from them getting to recognize that you're a business maybe they want to do business with, to making their first purchase, to being nurtured and becoming some of your biggest fans, and inviting their friends to purchase from you as well. So we're going to do that September 11th, and that's called Forever Fans. And then on September 12th, we will be hosting a new workshop called The Modern Maker's Path to Profitability, and I'm going to be sharing my new framework for profits called the Stitch Framework, and that is all coming up on September 12th. So I'll be doing that 3 times on September 12th, and you can pick the day that works for you. Again, all that information is available to you once you register for free for the Crochet Business Virtual Retreat Forever Fans. And again, it's linked below. I think that's it. Did you find this helpful? Which trap do you think you resonate with the most? Let's see. Jenny said, I've begun to be much firmer with my pricing and would rather not take an order if they won't pay the price. Absolutely. That's a great boundary to have in your business. Let's see. Sarah Dawn says, I'm okay with pricing, but have taken on too many orders because I underestimated how long things would take. I have done that in the past as well. So that's a common thing that people do. And Tanya says, I try to ask for help, but do not currently have any support. Okay, go join my free Facebook group. Join the Forever Fans. We're going to have a lot of opportunities for connecting with others inside of the Forever Fans event that we're going to have. So it's called a retreat because it's an all-day thing where we're just going to work together. We have classes, we have networking sessions, co-working sessions, hot seat sessions, times to connect with other people in the industry, and time to make friends with other people in the industry and get the support you need. So I hope you'll join us. I can't wait to see you there. And thanks for listening to another podcast. And I will be back again next week, Monday morning, with another episode of Crochet Business Chat. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you all, and I'll see you next week. Bye.